I thought the Western media said Ukraine is winning. What changed? Just a few months ago, the likes of DW were busy reporting that Ukraine is winning, Russia is losing. Check this out.
Since the beginning of the Russian full-scale invasion, hundreds of thousands of men have volunteered to defend their country against the Russians. But now, 1.5 years later, Ukraine needs to fill the ranks through conscription. Some Ukrainians are refusing to fight and looking for ways to leave. DW's Max Sender filed this report from the southern border with Romania.
Romania is just across the border from here, but most Ukrainian men cannot cross over, at least not legally. Martial law requires men of fighting age to stay in the country. Forged documents are one way of leaving. Thick forests and mountain passes are another. More than 15,000 have been detained in Ukraine while trying to illegally cross into Romania. These border guards are trying to stop them. Tonight, Volodymyr and Vasil are in charge of securing a 12-kilometer strip to enforce the law and save lives.
This is a marshy area. You can get lost here. There are wild animals, bears. You can run into a bear in the forest.
24 bodies have been found in Ukraine's southern border region since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion, we are told. The route used to be popular among cigarette smugglers, but now it's mostly used by people trying to leave.
Dodgers, refugees. Smugglers are afraid because of martial law. They are afraid that we will detain them and immediately book them, find them, and take them to the recruitment center,
where they will be processed and potentially sent to fight. Ukraine needs soldiers. This billboard in the nearby city of Chernovtsi says, "You can do more than you think." In the beginning of the war, hundreds of thousands joined the armed forces as volunteers. 1.5 years later, many of them are exhausted, wounded, or dead. Most new recruits are drafted. Despite overwhelming public support for the Ukrainian military, not everyone is willing to become part of it. Men between 18 and 60 can be called up.
When you find yourself in a hole, the first thing to do is to get out. But in the case of Ukraine, Ukraine is in a hole. Instead of finding ways to get out, they are rather digging deep. You see, I started reporting this since last year. And I think the Western media is trying to prepare their citizens for the total collapse of Ukraine. You know, they can't just wake up and tell their citizens that Ukraine is losing the war. So they have to use such documentaries to prepare their citizens' brain for the total collapse of Ukraine. I told you guys that this war fought for attrition, and looking at the numbers, Ukraine don't stand a chance to win this war. And there is no way that the West can help them. And since last year, I kept using a country like Finland, for example. Here we are. You know what? You know, when the war began, Zelensky quickly became a hero. You know, the guy always go to the front lines and take pictures. You see him in some brown t-shirt with some helmet, bulletproof, and some soldiers camo and desert boot, taking pictures in the front line. What happened? Why is he not going there to fight? Why is nobody painting Zelensky pictures again? Because people have realized that, look, whatever is happening is completely different from whatever the Western media is, you know, reporting. When the war began, a lot of people in the Western America went to Ukraine to fight for the free world and democracy and all the bullshit. Why they ran, my man. They say Ukraine is winning. When they get to the front lines, they realize that, look, whatever the Western media is reported is a bunch of nonsense. Ukraine is winning. Slava Ukraine.